Hey, we're at the workbench. Today, I think I mentioned in the last video that this weekend we're going to be making these railings. God knows how I'm going to do it. Probably start with a buck and then just solder everything together. They are quite detailed. I don't know how much detail I'm going to put into it, but it is doable. But it means a lot of filing. But this isn't going to be. It's not going to be a shelf queen. This is going to be a pond runner. So I want to be able to take this to the pond whenever I feel like it without worrying about things breaking off. And those plastic railings, they will go within the first trip to the pond. We've already replaced all the little solo ones with brass. So I'm going to get my brass wire out. I'm going to make a buck and see how we go from there. Okay, well, I'm hoping you can see this because it is absolutely tiny. So I've had this on the buck. I've done the first one. Move it a little bit, see if we've got some light there. That's what we're aiming at making. Those are the stanchions with the railing going through. What we start with is a big blob of solder and then file it down till it matches exactly what we've got there. So all I need to do now is make 10 more. Dear Lord, what have I started? So this is the buck I made for making the railings. I soldered 3 together so far, and this is good because when you're filing down the solder to get the right look of the loops at the top, it holds it in place for you while you're doing it. So if I get my file, I can show you what I do. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to support it. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to film this. So hopefully you can see this in the camera. This is the buck that I made to hold the railings that we're making. I'll try and get the railings in shot as well. Hang on. Shift that over. So those are the railings there that we're copying in the brass. Shift this out of the way. So when I'm filing these down, as you can see, there's I soldered 3 legs on already. I can just move it up a little bit, and this gives me a good hold for filing. I want it at least to be close to the detail that's on the Italeri S100. So the amount of time I'm going to take over this, well, I'm sure it'll be worth it in the end. But as I say, the whole point of doing this is so that I'm not breaking things off when I head to the pond, because I know I will. It's an absolute guaranteed fact that knocking this around, throwing it in the car and taking it there, getting it out, setting it up, putting the batteries in, so on and so forth. And if there's any adjustments to be made, well, the whole deck will have to come off for me to fiddle about inside, and these are going to get broken. Easy enough job. Anyone can solder. As long as you've got decent enough soldering iron. The soldering iron I use, it's a Ross gas one that I got ages ago. I don't even think they make them anymore. I'd show you, but it's propping up the camera at the moment. Maybe it's in another vid. So this is just filing now, those, get them in a rough and ready shape for finishing when I get all the rest on. I just thought I'd show you the process. So we rest that in there. I'll grab another length of brass. I don't know where I've put it. Let me go grab it. We cut a leg off. Thing is, you've got these dudes that use CAD and all sorts for drawing this stuff out, when realistically there's no need. You spend hours and hours doing CAD diagrams or 3D printing stuff up, when realistically it's just a matter of chopping some wire and getting it soldered on. Now I am using Flux on this. It just makes the whole job easier for the solder to take. So lob some in there. Let's get some on. Slot it in place. Doesn't really matter where I put it on this buck, because they're all equally spaced out 3 centimeters. So let's get pause and get the gas soldering iron on. In fact, no, I don't need to, do I? Use something else to prop it up with. There we go. You'll do. We're on camera still. Yeah. Wait for this to warm up. Right. Probably just stick that out there like that. Nice big blob. And that is stuck. That's how we do it. I don't know if you can see that. That's all the way around. Let me have a look, see if it's focused. No, not focused. Anyway, hopefully you can see it from there. So we've got 4 on. Let's match it up. I need 1 more that side. In fact, I can just stick it on the end, can't I? Yeah. So let's put that there. Cut another bit of rod off. That's that done. Sorry if this is out of camera. Like I say, until I get a good, decent gimbal. Cool. Let's get you around. Get you to there. Let's get some more flux on. Get your flux on. Get your flux on. I don't know what song that is. There we go. Again, filthy hands, but ask anyone who's worked in the workshop, your hands are going to get dirty. Working in the workshop, if your hands don't get dirty, you ain't been doing nothing. So, there we go. Four. Now, I need gap. So that's that 4 done. I need to snip that off there. And there we go. I've just noticed we have a problem with one of them. The joint is too weak. So what we do is we resolder the goddamn thing. Some flux on all the way around. Need some solder on this or it ain't gonna work. There we go. Nice big blob. Fresh, I think. There we go. That's a shame about that one because I'd had that one all filed up. It was almost perfect. So, but that's what happens. So that's those 4 done. Those should fit in there nice. Now let's get the cross one on. I also need to move one of these along a bit because it's slightly out. That's it, before it burns my hands. So, next up, this should be fun. About there. And the reason why I'm leaving a little bit on each end on these is so that I can make the hoops. I don't know if you can see them. There's little tiny hoops on the end of each run so that chains or ropes can go across. And if I leave a little bit at each end, then I can flatten it and put a hole through. Simples. So what I'm going to need to do here is make sure this is nice and straight for a start off. Get some flux on each joint. Got to get used to doing things on camera so you guys can see. So all I'm doing is liberally spreading flux on. Do some research into what flux actually does because I know it cleans off the oxide or whatever dirt's on the metal so that the solder can stick to it. But I've no clue what's actually in it, and it would be nice to find out. So that's that done. Let's put you down there. I'm not expecting this to be fantastic, this bit, mainly because I've got to solder back and front. So as long as I get one on, then I can begin messing about. So how are you going to do this, Potter? go for it. That's what you do, you just go for it. And if it don't work, it don't work. Okay, looks like we've got one on. Try and get number 2. Let's try and get number 3. Number 4. Okay. I'll have to hold that down. Okay, flip it over. So what kind of mess we've made here. Okay. That's number 1. The reason why I want the solder to go all the way around the joint is just to make it stronger, that's all. I need to hold this down. There we get some more flux on there, I think. There we go, both sides. Next one, a little bit more solder. Too much on. Any excess I can just file off at the end. I mean, I'm not too bothered about getting it precise right now because this is just for holding purposes. And then when I get it next to it, I can see if I like it or not. I've still got the option at the end of the day to leave those plastic ones on, and I don't want to. So, there, my friends, we have a railing. Rough and ready, all nice and soldered up. And that will be replacing that right there. Don't know if you can see it. Let's cut you down to size a bit, I think. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Bring the camera around so you can see. And that will be replacing that railing that's directly behind it. So got a load more to do. There's another half of it there, there's another half over there, and joining those lot will be some chains. Obviously I'll get some scale chain to match that, and I've got some stanchions left, 2 of them for the middle bits, so that'll be fine. Don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of brass wire, and I flattened out the end of it so I can make some eyes for the next complicated bit. There's the brass railings that we've put in. As you can, I don't know if you can see that. Let's try zoom in. There's little tiny eyes on the end of each soldered joint. Now, if I get, for comparison, this is the 1mm drill bit. Let's get it across there. Got it in. That's the 1mm drill bit, so you can see how small they are. Let's try and get it a bit closer. There you go. And they're on each end, so we can attach the chains to go across the middle, just like the original on that side. So all the way along, that's looking good. That'll look great once it's painted up. So what I've got to do, this middle one, let me try and get pointed at it there, that's missing. I've left the little plastic legging because realistically that's not going to support anything. I can just super glue that on once I've got the brass bar in place, because it's the brass bars that are giving the strength to this. So once that's up there, I need a double eye on each part. So that's going to be a difficult solder, but I'll show you that in progress, hopefully. Anyway, let's crack on and do it. So there we go. I've just got a little bit of filing to do to make that look like rings. And that's the middle post to go in there, as we mentioned before. And we're not going to worry about the plastic legs because they aren't supporting anything. But what will do is super glue those to the ones that are there, just to keep that little bit of realism going on. So, as I said, I've got a little bit more filing to do on those little tiny rings. To give you an idea on size, again, where's my thing? This is a 1mm bit, so that's 1/2mm bit, and those are the holes that I drilled with it, and then soldered it to the post. So let's get that filed down and put in place. So there you go, all nicely soldered up. I've got the holes drilled, everything's in place, and I'm quite pleased with myself there. Let's get it put in place. Okay, I'm having real trouble zooming in and getting close up to these. But there you go, that's that middle post put in with the eyes for the chains. I'm happy with the way they've gone. I'm going to make some more for the other side now. And then that'll be it for the deck, and then we can get that painted and start putting the model together and hopefully get to the pond and give it a zoom round. Like I say, I've got some other little plans coming up. One of the guys at B3TA mentioned something that I thought was completely mental, which I'm going to try with this. So stand by. And that's got to do with something. That's got something to do with the lights I gave away earlier on. There's going to be some green lighting on it. That should give you a clue. Anyway, that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up, like, blah, blah, blah. Subscribe if you feel like it. If you don't, that's cool. Just enjoy the vid. See you next week. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of spraying now, just to break up the monotony of making those railings. Which I've completed one side. I'll get them put in a bit later on today. But right now we've got the patch sprayer out. This is a dual action in that you press it down for your air and you pull it back for the amount of spray you want. First of all though, on the decking, because I've modded it with LED lights for the portholes on the top there, I'll take these out and then spray the deck. supposed to use primer on it, but the thing is, this Tamiya paint is that good, you actually don't need it. Because I'm going to give a top coat of matte varnish to the whole thing, well, there's no point. I don't think there's any point primering it, to be honest. I've never done it on any of the other models, and they've been just fine. So let's get these LEDs out. When I built the workbench for doing my modelling, if you followed my videos right from the start, you know I built this shed over the first lockdown. Give me something to do on the weekends. Even though I was working throughout the lockdown, I still found the time to do it. I just made my mind up, now's the time. Just in case the doo-doo hits the fan and I do get furloughed, well, I'll have something to do. As it turned out, I didn't need it. It kept me working at the hotel, so more than happy. Let's get these out. Come on. Okay. I'm trying to get as much of this on camera, even though I can't see the side because I'm using my phone to film everything. That's one, as you can see. All I've used on these is, on the inside of there's just standard LED strip that you'd use in a kitchen, you know, like on a roll. And this works between 6 and 12 volts, so it'll more than be powered by the batteries that I put in it. And as my cunning plan comes to fruition with what I'm going to do with this, these will eventually be glowing green inside. That might be a little clue to what I'm planning. Someone on B3TA suggested something very, very good indeed that I'm going to be following up on, and it's taken a whole new tilt. So I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's going to be cool, trust me. That's another one out. Let's get this one out. If I've got time today, I might even get these wired up, so we shall see. So much still to be done on this S100 build. Let's get it out. Okay, give it a brush off. There's still some bits to be stuck to this, but I can do that afterwards. It's all detailed stuff. So let's give it a little test. I don't know if you can see this. So give it some air, pull it back. There we go, and we're off. I don't know if you can see that. I've got quite a big needle in this, so coverage is going to be pretty thick and pretty big. That's my compressor kicking off, as you can hear. I can always touch up. The one thing about spray painting as well, it shows up any dodgy bits on the model that will need filing off or sanding. Right, try and get this in camera while I'm spray painting so you can see what's happening. As you can see, it's going on nicely there. Let's get these side bits done. I seem to have lost the habit of spray painting. Not making a very good job of this, I got to tell you. Anyway, let's get some more on. Getting the balance between the right kind of pressure. I put too much on there and it's blobbed, so I can always sand that off and start again. I don't know if you can see there, got a nice big blob. So careful, careful, Potter. I'll tell you, it's showing up loads of imperfections in the actual mould. I've got to tell you, some professional modellers are going to be just wincing at what I'm doing here. But hey, each to their own. After I've got some weathering on this, it will be fine. The weathering, for those who the initiated, is where you try and make it look used or battle worn. And some of the other modellers on YouTube, they really do go to extremes. Okay, do we need any more anywhere else? Yeah. That, I think, is done. Get hold of this. Nope, need some more there. Okay, that's all ready. So what I need to do is put my LEDs back on. One good thing about the Tamaya paints is it's really quick drying. So where do we want first? I think it was this one in first. There we go. What I'm going to do as well, once I've got these on, is mask off the little portholes. And give them another spray. Because the last time these were sprayed was about 10 years ago. It's when I gave this up. Yeah. So screws. Going to leave the masking tape on the armoured wheelhouse for now, because I've got some weathering to do around there, so I will show you that with the really fine pash bit. Sorry, the really fine pash needle. That's on. Oh, wrong one. That's not it. You. Yeah, it's you. Let's get you in. Because none of this was measured out when I did it, these have to go in back where they came from, because all the holes I've drilled for the screws are in different places and only match the one that it came from. So, if you know what I mean. So here we go. Let's get you on. Nicely. Next. This is probably Dollar's Toffee. I'll probably cut this out of the video because boring as hell watching me put screws in. Let's match you up. Yup, you'll do. Luckily I've got spray paint all over my fingers, so it's keeping the paintwork nice and clean. Let's stop you there. So let's get these portholes taped up. There's my scissors. Okay. Where's my scalpel blade? There she is. Okay, so some. Gently cut around the masking tape. Hopefully with a nice sharp blade, make easy work of this. Okay. I have to say I'm not getting the best angle on this because obviously I want to get it on camera and you can see what I'm doing. So that's the first one in. There we go. Second one. This is not going to be the most precise masking in the world, I've got to tell you. No, I'm going to have to pick this up and do it. It's no good. Right. I'm going to cut around the edge this time. Going to cut around the edge this time. And then pop it through. There we go. That works a bit better, I think. Yeah. So, that's that one done. Apple blade. Just felt the super glue give way there on the glass, so I'm going to have to be a lot more careful, because if that comes away I've got to re-glue it. That means taking all these apart again, and I don't want to do that. So come on. Go. Last one. Get you tucked in. I don't know if you can see any of this. There we go. So if I peel that off now, we should be cooking on gas, and we are. Nice one, buddy boy. So put you across there. Don't want to waste any of this. Don't want to waste any of the masking tape, because I think that was £5 for that little diddy roll. Wherever it's gone. Where did I put it? There it is. Yeah, a little roll of Tamiya masking tape. I think it was about £5. Obviously, if I'd have thought ahead, what I would have done is stuck the glass in after I'd spray painted it, but it is what it is. God, I love that saying, it is what it is. It means absolutely nothing. Come on. There we go. And you're in. Brilliant. Need another slice of this. So here we go then for a close-up on the portholes that I'm trying to do. This is a really fiddly job, especially when your porthole's like 4mm across and you've got to cut out with a scalpel to cover the glass before you spray it. So anyway, that's the close-up. I'll get this finished and get it sprayed up. Okay, well, that's the portholes taken care of. As you can see, all masked up. We're going to do the spraying next. That's if my patch hasn't all seized up. So here we go then. Looks like I painted a few of my tools there as well. Not to worry, the tools, they're meant to take it. Not to worry, the tools, they're meant to take it. So let's get you done. I'm going to try and get a nice thick coat on this. That funny feeling these things are going to be coming off quite a lot. Depending on if I change the colour of the lights inside. As I mentioned, there's LEDs inside these porthole covers. I think, my friends, that's done. Now I'm going to get a little bit more on that. That is done. Man, I tell you, when I get an idea in my head, I just won't let go. We've done Mark 1 of the Smoker, we've done Mark 2 of the Smoker. This is going to be Mark 3. I want more smoke out of it. I want to flood my garden with smoke, so that's the ideal. I want nuclear amounts of smoke. So we're going to have 2 burners in this one. This is the idea. This is the top of the box. I've soldered in 2 prongs. Attached to each one will be the fiberglass rope. This was supposed to be 6mm and it's more like 10mm. So thanks Amazon for cocking that up. But never mind. We've got the wire wrapped round on one of them. The post there is to hold. Now I didn't show you this before, but this, let me get it in camera. There we go. Opposite way around. That's the element out of a hairdryer. Now we're going to use obviously the wire, which is already on there, and the heat-proof card that's on there as well, because that's what I'm going to mount my terminals to for giving this power, so we don't melt anything or short anything out. I'm already risking it by making this box out of copper and brass, so you know what I mean. Easily a chance of short circuit, fire and explosions coming up today. So we're just making another box for Smoke Machine Mark 3. I've already made loads of copper bits, bottom, sides. And that.
What's up?
So we'll just make another side. Get everything level. Finally. Finally, it's stop racing. It's important that we get it as flat as possible, so when we run the solder on it, get a nice good seal. Don't want any of that oil escaping into the tank, that's for sure. Because if it does, it will condense onto your electronics in your tank, and you really don't want that. Let's see if we've got a flat. Bend you back. Middle. No. So where's my base gone? There we are. So that on there. Just need to mark the bend. There. Right. And here we go. That, I don't know if you can see that. Can we see that? There we go. The other bit. I'll stick a little bit of flux on the joints. Make it nice and clean. This is just normal standard plumber's flux, so this will help it go a lot quicker without a shadow of a doubt. So, okay, get the burner on.
What's up?
It's not quite the best angle for me, but as long as you guys can see, that's all that matters. And there we have it. That's a good quick soldered joint. So when I undo this, that should be nice and tickety-boo.